Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. This is your course instructor Dr. Shiza Ayaz from Department of Botany, Division of Science and Technology, University of Education, Township, Lahore. And the topic for today's discussion is called noise pollution. This is lecture number 20. Noise pollution, also known as the environmental noise or the sound pollution, that is the propagation of the noise with ranging impacts on the activity of human or animal life. Most of them are harmful to a certain degree. So, the source of outdoor noise worldwide is mainly caused by machines, transport, and propagation systems. So, the poor urban planning may also give rise to the noise disintegration or the noise pollution. Side by side, industrial and the residential buildings can result in the noise pollution in the residential areas. Some of the main sources of the noise in the residential areas include loud music, transportation, traffic, rail, airplanes, lawn care maintenance, constructions, electrical generator explosion, and the people themselves. So, documented problems are also associated with the noise in the urban environments go back as far as ancient timings. Today, the average noise level of 98 decibel exceeds the World Health Organization value of 50 decibels allowed for the residential area. So, basically, a noise is derived from a Latin word nauseous, which means seasickness. So, noise is a sound of those frequencies which are audible to the human ear. Whereas, if you want to differentiate between the sound and the noise, so sound is a vibration that propagates as a mechanical wave of pressure displacement through some medium. So it basically refers to only those vibrations with frequencies that are within the range of hearing for women. For example, WHO, World Health Organization, has given a maximum possible range for the residential area, for the construction companies, for various types of infrastructure, and for the audible hearing and listening power to the humans in terms of the decibel units. So, the sounds that travel through the air or another medium and can be heard when the person's or the animal's ear. So it is produced by the continuous and the regular vibrations as opposed to the noise. So we can define scientifically that is any unwanted noise or the noise that interrupts the normal or balance of human and animal life is called as the noise pollution. So noise pollution may also have damaging effects on the sounds that are freely audible, and here the contaminant may play a very important role as they have the physical properties and the mechanical waves that interfere with the naturally occurring waves of a similar type in the same environment, whether it is a residential area, rather it's a factory or a machinery which have some type of the noise. So basically noise is we can say that it is basically any unwanted sound, and its units are small d capital B, that is the decibel units. So characteristics of the noise are mainly there are many characteristics that depend upon the sound pressure that comes in two way, that is the frequency. So the frequency is the number of cycles repeated in unit time duration, and its unit is cycles per second or hertz. So the human ear has the peak response around 25,000 to the 3,000 hertz, and it has a relatively low response at the lower frequencies. The second most important characteristic of the noise is the loudness. A loud noise usually has a larger pressure variation and a weak one has a smaller pressure variation. And if we are basically concerned with the smaller and the larger pressure, so its basic unit is called, or it is measured in the units of Pascal, PA. So the loudness of the sound is commonly expressed in the units of decibel, which can be defined as the logarithm to those 10 to the ratio of the two intensities, where capital I is the measured intensity, I apostrophe is the reference intensity, LT logarithm is equal to the level of the noise in the decibel units. So the level of the sound in the environment is measured by an instrument which is called as sound level meter. The frequency limit of the audibility for human ear may range from 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz. So the human speech is mainly in the range of a sound of about 300 to 3000 Hz in the units of frequency. So a noise problem generally consists of three interrelated elements, like noise problem, uh, interrelated elements like the source, receiver, and the transmission path. So this transmission path is usually the atmosphere through which the sound is propagated, but it can include the structural materials of any building containing the receiver end. So the level of tolerance, like normal level of tolerance is 80 decibel, and sound level below and above this is considered to be the noise pollution. So this is the level of tolerance which has been set by WHO. Here is the chart explaining the various areas having the different sound audibility with reference to the decibel units. Like if you see at the figure, the normal hearing can be heard at the audible range of 0 to 15 decibel units. So the damage to the eardrum, loss of hearing, reduce sensitivity to the sound, disrupt the body natural balance. So there are different decibel level of the common noise sources, may including the jet engine that is 25 meter away, having a decibel units of 140. Then concerts may contribute about 120 decibel units. Heavy truck traffic load may account for 80 decibels. Business offices may account for 70 decibel. Conversational speech between each other or between the two human beings is normally referred to as in the range of 60 decibels. Library 50 decibel. Bedroom 40, and there is any type of whispering, either you are sitting in the room or either you are sitting in the classroom, it accounts in the decibel range of only 20. So this is a data taken from the World Health Organization. That is the noise level recorded as the decibel units, like in the major cities of the Pakistan including Gujranwala, the average value is 72.5, whereas in the Karachi there is a maximum, second last maximum, and among here is the Peshawar is 86. So this was all about the data of noise level recorded with the help of sound level meter. So major causes of the noise pollution. There are many sources of noise pollution, but here are some of the main ones, like transportation. Transportation may include traffic, air traffic, and the railroads noise. Construction sites, catering and nightlife, social events, animal, household, and various other related activities. So first we will go into the detail about the traffic noise. Traffic noise account for most polluting noise in the cities. For example, a car horn, A car horn produces 90 decibels and a bus produces 100 decibels of the sound level. So the traffic noise, because it's a vehicle noise which is created by many of the agents collectively. The sound energy emanating from the motor vehicles that consists chiefly of the road surfaces, tire, engine, transmission, aerodynamics, and braking the elements. So noise of rolling tires rolling on the pavement is found to be the biggest contributor of the highway noise, which increases the higher vehicle speeds. So the next is the noise from the railroads. Like from the railroads, that is the train noise. It is a vehicle noise which is created mostly by the trains, and noises may be heard inside the train and outside. Various parts of the train also produce the noise, and different kind of train wheels produces the different amount of the noise. So the noise barrier can attenuate these noises. Air traffic noise is another source of the transportation noises, like air traffic. There are fewer aircraft flying over the cities than there are cars on the roads, but the impact is greater. That is, a single aircraft produces 130 decibel units. So it is considered to be a harmful noise affected produced by aircraft in light. Sound production can be divided into major three categories in this way, like the mechanical noise that may be produced due to the rotation of the engine parts, and it is mostly noticeable when the fan blades reach supersonic speeds. Number two category under the aircraft noise pollution is the aerodynamic noise from the airflow around the surface of the aircraft, especially when flowing low at very high speed, and the noise from the aircraft system, like the cockpit and the cabin pressurization and conditioning system and auxiliary power units. So there are various health consequences related to all of these types of the transportation sources of the noise pollution. So the next is the noise from the construction sites, like the noise from the construction of the highways, cities, streets, buildings is a major contributor to the urban scene. Construction noise sources may include pneumatic hammers. I will discuss in detail about all of these: pneumatic hammer, compressors, bulldozers, loader, dump trucks, and the pavement breakers, etc. So the construction, like the building and the car park construction, road, pavement, and related other areas are also very noisy. For example, a pneumatic drill produces about 110 decibel units of the noise. So this is the pneumatic hammer and this is the bulldozer. We have next category, like the major causes of creating the noise pollution in our ecosystem is the catering and nightlife, like the bars, restaurants, terraces that spill outside when the weather is good. They can all produce more than 100 decibels. This includes the noise from the pubs and the clubs also. So So these are all related to the public events or the social already. Social events are actually the public events such as concerts. Vehicle races can be very loud and cause symptoms ranging from irritability and ringing in the ears to hearing loss and effect on concentration. The severity of these impacts varies between the people, and they can depend on the volume, intensity, duration of the noise, and any pre-existing condition a person might have. So the noise is at its peak in most of the social events, whether it is a marriage, party, pub, disco, place of worship, or Normally they float the rules set by the local administration, and they create all type of bad nuisance in our area. Like all of these events may creating the noise pollution. If we talk about with reference to the public, so animals, the noise made by animals can go unnoticed mostly, but a howling or a barking dog, for example, can produce around 60 to 80 decibels of the sound. So you can imagine those who have their pets in their home, they can all, we can say that they are always in the 60, they are always experiencing the bad or the nuisance in their homes or their parks, anything. So among the household sources that that run into our daily routine, they may include like the food mixers, grinders, vacuum cleaner, music, LEDs, washing machine, thermos, straightener, cooler, TV, iPad, earphone, and the loudspeaker are also contributing the major noise pollution in the residential areas. Other causes of the noise pollution may include poor urban planning. So, the poor urban planning, I have already explained in detail that, like, if we build the roads, if we build the infrastructure, and in most of the developing countries, like the poor urban planning plays a vital role, like frequent fights over the basic amenities lead to the noise pollution, which may disrupt the environment or the society. This is the picture showing the poor urban planning. Then sounds from the motor vehicles, like the vehicle engines and the home, are the main contributor to this, and the traffic congestion leads to the honking, which in turn leads to the noise pollution. Sound from the musical instruments, like noises as excessive volume, music played at excessive volume is often considered in a form of the noise pollution. So although some rock musician experiences noise-induced hearing loss during their music time, so it is still debated as to whether classical musicians are exposed to enough high-intensity sound to cause the hearing impairments. Car alarms. Passing vehicle with a loud sound system, a car alarm, loud exhaust or heavy ground vibration that can cause sympathetic vibrations, which can also trigger the alarm. So a glass breaker sensors has a microphone that listens to the vehicle interior for the sounds made by breaking those of the glasses. So if your car alarm keeps going off or will not switch off automatically after the 20 minutes, if it can cause a noise or the nuisance to your neighbors. So to avoid such situation, you should have the alarm system serviced, and it should be repaired by a competent alarm engineer. Office equipments like various computers, printers, fax machines, and the co-worker which seems to raise the volume of their head voice every time, like they talk on the phone, there is a continual disruption. They can cause a downstorm in their productivity. So constant interruptions can lead to an inability to focus, which subsequently may result in an increased level of the stress. So the quality of the work throughout the area could suffer, and the workers may have difficulty talking with the clients or the customers on the telephone. So the employee absentees may rise, affecting the company's and the office's bottom line. Factory machinery. So there are the people who work with drills, punch presses, saws, mills, and various other machinery. They must wear the protective equipment to avoid the adverse effect of this noise pollution. Loudspeakers, like Noise pollution above 120 decibels can cause many adverse biochemical changes like the cholesterol level in the blood, and while it can increase beside causing the hypertension. So the noise pollution that may come from the loudspeaker uh, activity or even a radio can create such nuisance in our surrounding area. And the most important one is the noise created by the people. So we talk, and like it noise pollution impact million of the people on a daily basis. How? The most common health problem it causes is the noise induced hearing loss. Exposure to the loud noise can also cause high blood pressure, heart diseases, sleep disturbances, and hypertension. So the noise pollution also impacted the health and the well-being of the wildlife. Here is a list of all the references for today's lecture, and the remaining part will be discussed in the next lecture. Thank you very much.